Chapter 1, The Basics. If you've been with your company a while, haven't seen any real success yet, but are yet determined to make it work, I applaud you still more. Statistics evidence the huge bulk of home business owners will resign or quit inside just 6 months of starting their business. That truly is a calamity, as there are today so many directions for accomplishing success in home business that almost anyone may discover a way in which they may be positive and comfortable enough to succeed. All the trends and newest indications are proposing that our businesses may be about to go through exponential growth, not just for today, but for the foreseeable time to come. What's in this book? Economically, the world is shifting the days of an occupation for life and the security from working for a big corporation, which was once taken for granted, is vanishing quickly. As a society, our values are shifting. We aim to spend less time traveling back and forth and at work, and more time with our loved ones and friends. Many individuals would love the chance to work from home and earn a profit for themselves, instead of having a job and work for somebody else. This is the case for a lot of individuals. What are the choices? Well, founding and making a success of your own traditional, small business isn't that simple and may be insecure with as many as 80% bombing inside the first 5 years. So why do so many marketers not go on to make a winner of their business? Well, one cause may be as it's so inexpensive to get involved. Likely, in the past, most individuals didn't appreciate that it was a suitable business they were getting involved with, or didn't treat it earnestly enough if they did. Likewise, in the past, our industry might have not had the level of believability it is today acquiring. In late years, a lot of influential businesspersons and entrepreneurs have spoken out about how true and feasible the network marketing business model is today. Some, like Warren Buffett, Donald Trump, and Richard Branson, have gone much further than that and vested in their own network marketing companies. For these and a lot of additional reasons, it looks in all likelihood that the network marketing industry is on the brink of a monolithic boom well-rounded the world. But hey, you likely already understand this, right? You've already done your due diligence and comprehend this business presents an unbelievable opportunity, but you would like to understand how you're going to be able to grow and win in your business. The marvelous news is that there are now so many means that anybody ought to be able to find at least one they are confident to work with and expand their business. One of my favorite mediums for pulling in prospects and clients to your network marketing business, the internet. In a lot of ways, prospecting on the net is still in its babyhood, but it means that it's now just as possible to sponsor somebody into your business from America or Australia as it is from Germany. Isn't that just so energizing? What's more, if you do it correctly, you've the chance to establish even stronger business relationships online than you are able to offline. This is because you'll pull in individuals that are more like to you in their goals, mindset, values, and ambitions. Whichever of these proven techniques you utilize to pull in buyers and prospects to your network marketing business, you ought to already understand that you're in the numbers business. It isn't your job to sell, sway, or convince, but merely to introduce your opportunity. When you really comprehend this and have assurance in this wonderful opportunity that you have to provide individuals, you'll then begin to relax and have fun with it. Isn't that truly what life ought to be about? Chapter 2, Throw a Party. A synopsis: when individuals consider either throwing parties, it's Ann Summers, or, if you're aged enough, the original Tupperware parties that will likely be the first to come to mind. Even if it doesn't apply to your opportunity, There are dozens of companies that do promote their product in this way. Cosmetics, apparel, jewelry, cookware, house cleaning products, candles, gift items, and a broad range of wellness and health products may all be promoted through parties. For many, this is their chief technique of distribution. Party benefits, but can it be a great way to draw in prospects, likewise as customers? Well, a lot of companies have demonstrated that it is by blending a business presentation inside their product presentation. If you've a satisfied buyer who recognizes, likes, and believes you, it's likely that they'll have a serious look at your business if they are interested in methods to earn an additional revenue. If it's a recognized form of prospecting within your company, they'll have grooming and tools for your presentation. If it isn't, there's no reason why you can't invent your own. If this is a business-expanding technique you want to follow, make it intriguing and educational. Accent the advantages instead of the features. Tell tales and include recommendations. Present your product and your opportunity, don't sell it. Use a video disc if your company has one and let them view, touch, and even try out the product. Keep it easy and above board. You wish it to be a presentation your guests understand they may duplicate. If you do it correctly, you'll see them thinking, who do I know that may be interested in this? Offering to handle a party for a likely prospect may be a good way to get them in your system. They might be really interested in the business, but are not sure-footed enough to present it themselves, or they simply wish to see how their acquaintances respond. They're looking to test the water, and for reassurance, this may be a great thing for them. Naturally, you can't lose from this situation. They do all the invitations. Your audience ought to feel at ease and unthreatened. You may sell some product and hopefully enroll this individual into your business. Even if they select not to become involved at this time, you'll have met 4, 5, or 6 others you are able to follow up with. If you're still fresh to the business, you'll get your upline to do the demonstration for you. If you're comfortable with this technique of business building, it may be a really quick way of developing your organization, particularly in the early days. Network marketing is all about working with individuals to help them to be successful. This is a good way to show true teamwork and support. Chapter 3. Use audio. A synopsis. Utilizing audio to market your opportunity provides a system the bulk of individuals will be comfortable to work with. This is as it supplies a really effective, professional, riskless, and easily duplicatable technique to expand a business. Utilize CDs. How many individuals couldn't state, I wish to show you something? It'll take approximately 20 minutes. You might or might not be interested. Just about every opportunity will have a CD you are able to utilize to prospect individuals to your organization. You may think, well, we likewise have video discs and links to sites, so why is the CD still so preferred by a lot of top network marketers? It's because it's so handy. Individuals have to find time to sit down and watch a video disc, or to log on and go through a site. However, with a CD, they may play it in the auto, or listen to it while they are fixing dinner or doing the family chores, and so forth. A lot of individuals have built the groundwork of big businesses utilizing this single technique. Here are just a couple of the reasons why. 1. It takes you out of the equation and provides your prospect the finest possible explanation of the business. You won't come away with the feeling, oh no, why did I state that? Or, I forgot to state that. I'm certain that they'd have been interested if I had introduced it better. We have all done this. 2. It answers the 2 chief questions your prospect will hold in their mind. What do I do? Where do I start? It introduces them to an easy system to abide by that's easily duplicatable. 3. It's riskless. There's no dread of rejection or need to manage objections. There will likewise be fewer queries, as most of them will have been expected and already answered. 4. It makes it simpler to expand your organization in depth, as it empowers beginners to perform the business. The message is reproducible and isn't altered. It levels the field. 5. It's a good leverage of your time, as it may get the message out to a lot of individuals within merely a couple of days. It likewise means that individuals you bring on board may acquire a quick start in their business also, and so forth down the line. 6. It takes space out of the equation. If you can't meet somebody face to face, you are able to telephone him or her and let him or her know that you'd like to send him or her something in the mail that he simply has to hear. 7. Lastly, it provides the message to a fresh candidate. I may do this, and it's easy. When you utilize this technique of business building, it's still crucial that you come across as sure-footed and charged up when you give them the CD. It's likewise really crucial to give them a short time frame to listen to it, otherwise, they might simply leave it on a shelf and never get around to listening to it. Ask if they'll have time to listen to it this evening or tomorrow, as you've somebody else that you have to send it on to. This will produce a sense of urgency, and it likewise means that you are able to get your CD back and hand it on to somebody else. Chapter 4, Public Speaking. All right, you must be a bit outgoing and comfortable meeting individuals you don't know as yet. But this is a first-class way to get your subject matter across to a big amount of individuals all in one go. Addressing groups, simply a fast glance through your local paper will highlight the activities of oodles of local community groups and societies that are out there in your area. More often than not, they'll note their guest speaker and thank them for doing their part in the organization. This week, at the time composing this book, my local community group thanked their speaker for her talk on ways to end homelessness. The point is that these groups are simply begging for guest speakers, and if you are able to formulate an informational and educational demonstration about your business, they'll likely be more than happy to have you speak. The huge bulk of these groups are smaller, very niche-oriented, and it wouldn't be a worthwhile utilization of your time, but a smattering of them might be. There are broad assortments of groups and organizations which won't commonly appear in the areas you'd first think of. The ones you choose to target will depend upon your opportunity and whether you aim to lead with the product or the business. If you're marketing a wellness and health product, there are many self-help organizations that open up to you. There are groups for nearly every ailment and mortal condition you are able to think of: bronchial asthma, arthritis, diabetes, skin problems. As a matter of fact, any condition that your product has demonstrated to be of help with. Simply remember not to make any exorbitant or medical claims. This would be ruinous for your business. A strong, direct pitch ought to also be averted on the day. Overall, this technique is likely more probable to pull in buyers instead of business builders, but it does depend upon the group. The chief prospecting issue with these demonstrations is that individuals might think the only way to build a business is by executing these talks. Many will not wish to do this, and to them, it won't seem duplicatable. A way to bypass this would be to merely touch on the opportunity side and invite them to see an upcoming business briefing at another time. The most beneficial thing about this approach is that you'll formulate confidence in speaking to individuals and a much bigger depth of knowledge about the advantages of your product. At the same time, you'll decidedly sell some product, and you might just pick up a nugget of a prospect along the way. Chapter 5, Use Video. A synopsis. You're in all likelihood thinking right now, well, I'll study this chapter but this is way above my capacities. Am you correct? Well, you'd be really incorrect. Video marketing is so simple and inexpensive to do these days that anybody can get involved. Moving pictures, it's the cutting-edge big thing in internet marketing, but yet only a really small amount of individuals are presently doing it. Suppose if you landed on two reasonably identical sites, a few opportunities provide duplicated sites, for instance. If one had a 2-3-minute personal message from the owner of the website, revealing to you a little morsel about themselves and how they might be able to assist you, don't you think you'd be more drawn to them? As long as they resonated as real, truthful, and earnest, you might feel you've started to form a kinship with them already. However, there's more. It's lately been demonstrated that sites with videos on them have far greater conversion rates from visitors, even if the video isn't really viewed. This has to mean merely by having a video screen on your site, it's instantly sensed as being more professional, more serious, and more useful than like websites without. Or it might simply signify the way in which individuals wish to acquire and accumulate information is shifting. We seldom turn to books to answer our inquiries or discover answers any longer. We simply Google it. I wonder how much farther into the future it will be before we simply YouTube it. In addition, don't fret if you feel your videos will be too unskilled or badly produced to begin with. Individuals truly don't care. As a matter of fact, most of us want to hear from other real-world individuals. Giving tangible tips and solutions, we rely on it more than the huge, glitzy corporate messages we see. You might be surprised to hear you are able to record and post a video on the net for utterly no charge if you've an inbuilt webcam in your monitor or laptop computer. If you don't, you are able to pick one up for a modest price online. You'll be able to utilize a video recording. Uploading service like Vidler, there's a little learning curve to this, and it's only suitable if you've a site to upload it to. All the same, if you do have a camcorder or access to one, it's above board enough to transfer your video onto your personal computer or laptop computer, just like you would with your photographs, and then upload it directly onto YouTube. It's really easy, but if you require any assistance, just Google uploading a video to YouTube and you'll discover some videos about it at, surprisingly enough, YouTube. So if it's not the technology that's confining you, what is it? If you are anything like me and 90% of the population, it's what you're going to talk about, how you're going to sound, how you're going to appear, how you're going to come across, and so forth and so on. And that happens. It's like everything. You learn and develop in assurance as you continue. Here are a couple of hints for your first video message. 1. Arrange the scene, let your visitor understand where you're recording the video from, and perhaps even provide them a view of your surroundings. It helps them to begin to establish a kinship with you. 2. Speak to the camera and envisage you're speaking to one person, solely the ideal visitor to you. You don't have to gaze into the lens all the time, but if you've a camera with a side-viewing screen, make certain you're not staring at that. 3. Involve the viewer in what is occurring. If somebody is with you, perhaps assisting with the filming, note his or her presence prior to moving on. You ought to make certain your video comes across as innate and informal. However, the best hint is just to give it a go and formulate your own style as you go on. Delivering a video presence on the net is a great deal more potent than any other net medium. If you simply have time to get involved in one net activity, it would be a hard call between having a blog and video promotion. I believe video marketing just takes it as it makes you stick out as a serious player, and you are able to rapidly develop yourself as the go-to individual in your field. Chapter 6, Keep Prospects Motivated. While discovering great prospects is a challenge in itself, when you have identified them, you have to have a way to motivate them to buy your service or product. Individuals may find a way to get the things they wish when they are sufficiently motivated. Attempt a few of these tips to motivate prospects. Hints: demonstrate, don't tell, your prospects how excellent you are. Studies demonstrate that nonverbal communication, like body language and tone of voice, are far more influential in motivating individuals than words. Present your product at every chance, and when you're speaking to a prospect, make certain you feel the excitement. It will be catching, while merely a boring, fact-filled presentation will leave your prospect with little love for your services. Ask questions and heed the responses from your prospects. They'll tell you what they require and what motivates them to purchase. When you shut up and let them tell you, it's simple to turn things around and provide them precisely what they ask for. Pick up on the feelings and passions affiliated with their needs, and show them how you are able to satisfy those needs. The sales process is about the buyer, not about you. Soft sell yourself with stories rather than reams of facts and figures. Prospects recall stories and how they associate to their own situation. In your story, tell them how they may win, just like the individual in your story. Individuals want what others have and are motivated to get it, occasionally simply for that reason. Infuse a sense of urgency when you speak to prospects, but don't utilize a hard sell approach, though, as no one likes being sold to. Rather, simply present the deadline or time sensitivity of the offer as a fact. When prospects believe they have all the time in the world to make a determination, they will take it. They will not be motivated to act swiftly if you give them a cause to wait. Chapter 7: Lead Generation. A synopsis: sales leads must begin the day you go into business and carry on till the day you quit. They are the lifeblood and the primary source of revenue for your business. Without the continual refilling of your sales funnel, your cash flow, revenue, and business will finally dehydrate. Net marketing and sales leads are a basic activity, day in and day out for your business. Pulling it in, sales leads are the livelihood of making revenue online. Without a great prospect, you don't have any kind of starting place. It's best to have prospects that are warm and already prepared for your products or services. Future buyers accumulated based upon consumers who have bought like products or are sourced from niche sites, all centering on your product domain, will be the most amenable. Sales leads are simple to find. All you have to do is see to it you communicate your value proposal correctly to get the attention of your prospects. You are able to get the best value for your marketing revenue by really understanding what it is your prospects look for. Lead generation does take a little time and planning to accomplish. If done correctly, you are able to reap the rewards and return hundreds of fresh sale leads for you business monthly for many years to come. May prospects be generated for a specific industry? You bet they may. Frequently, the best results, in the form of great conversion rates and increased sales, happen when a specific niche and a specific prospect is targeted. An illustration of this relates to the manual traffic exchanges. The business owners using traffic exchanges are there for one solitary reason: traffic. You are able to target this niche with services, tools, and info about techniques to increase effectiveness of their efforts or means to better their revenue flow. Sales leads are prospective customers that have the potential to be changed over into actual buyers through dedicated efforts. It calls for a centered approach to convert leads into real income. Take the time upfront to consider from your prospect's perspective. You'll be way more effective. Getting sales leads and managing prospects has always been a necessity for all net business. The economic downswing, however, is causing sales and marketing pros to center on more effective lead generation. Yielding an unceasing stream of prospects will better your business and keep the available work regular. Make generating fresh leads an unceasing part of your daily business routine. Yielding fresh buyers from your article marketing efforts may be an effective alternative. Acquiring solid, high-quality opportunities takes a clear approach. Yielding leads is the all-important business activity. It's the thing to do consistently. And to a few individuals, it's also something that's rather expensive to achieve effectively. It ought to allow you to earn more revenue by converting more prospects into sales without spending too much of your cash on advertising. It's crucial to comprehend your marketing ROI at all times. Net prospecting is the utilization of net marketing tools to yield leads for fresh customers or contacts. It's one modern approach by which net channels are leveraged to drive enrollment in your services or to drive traffic to your website. One way net businesses get prospective buyer info by producing general info sites on assorted topics. Content is king on the net, and more often than not, individuals are looking to have their questions resolved. Net visibility is a huge part of this, which is why SEO is such a raging topic among individuals looking to make money online. Lead generation and SEO. It's like sustenance. Search engine marketing campaigns have to take into account all facets of the client base, the keywords prospects may enter, and intents of the info seeker. The customer base, trends, and analytic trends all are crucial variables and factors that a great search engine marketing campaign ought to understand and base their techniques on. Yielding fresh leads via valuable and relevant content will better your business and keep the search engine spiders intrigued. Make generating sales leads a steady part of your daily business routine. A essential but increasingly easier evil prospecting, yielding and managing prospects has always been essential for any salesperson. The economic downswing, however, is causing sales and marketing pros to center on more effective lead generation, leveraging free of charge sources of site traffic, and producing a product or service fulfilling on the needs of other business owners is an excellent technique. Yielding sales leads from your articles or from your efforts inside manual traffic exchanges are really effective and don't cost a bunch of money. Formulating solid, high-quality sales leads takes a clear approach. Begin with a plan. Set clear-cut goals, measure, monitor, track, and follow through. Establish your plan around annual, monthly, weekly, and daily prospecting actions. Require of yourself a weekly minimum number of prospecting contacts and visits to your sales pages from an assortment of free of charge traffic sources. Build your marketing plan to yield a regular, consistent flow of prospects. To see to it, your conversion ratios will lead to favorable cash flow in a predictable manner. The length of your marketing efforts span the length of time you project to be in business. It calls for time, effort, and constant tweaks to have a regular flow of fresh leads. Chapter 8. Do you sponsor everybody? A synopsis. If they're taking a breath, sponsor them. Well, we don't do that any longer. Or do we? A lot of companies still push recruit, even when the techniques are more tailored to the 20th century and the net. So let's view some points. What to do? Should you all of the time lead with the business? Should you lead with everybody you meet? Whom do you want on your team? Let me share my experience of a business I had previously. In my first couple of years, I used to accept pretty much any work that issued forth. Full order books, incorrect technique, not fruitful. I wasn't centered on a niche, and I was doing work for which my skills weren't best fitted. Then I discovered what my 4 days were. I developed the bravery to turn work away, and I got profitable without ever having to advertise. Most individuals get into networking, and they believe that the secret is to sponsor as many people as possible. Forever lead with the business, as at least you'll get a buyer if they don't wish to join your team. But the argument goes, it takes too long to win over a buyer, turn them into a business builder. So how do you truly construct this business? You find a number of devoted distributors, establish a culture of friendship and community, help one another to launch a solid team where attrition is at a minimum and merchandise is being sold. If you simply sponsor them in, there will be a high quit rate. If somebody joins you as a raw, green newcomer, they have to comprehend what it takes to be successful, and they have to be coachable. Naturally, you encourage them to mature as leaders and develop their critical thinking. But you have to all work in harmony with the scheme you utilize and the ethos of your team. Work on evolving just one leg at a time till it's truly strong and past the point of collapse. Naturally, this technique might depend upon how your compensation plan works. I'm not suggesting that all lead generation and sponsoring freezes while you work on that line. You require a balance. Don't forget that your business is simply another way of getting products to the end consumer sales. Without a great deal of committed, long-term buyers, there will be no residual income to enable you to be on a sun-soaked beach. I've heard so many stories of individuals reaching the top, despite not seeming to have the qualities we expect in a successful network marketer. I've seen it too. It's incorrect to prejudge, as we never know the steel and determination that somebody has inside in spite of appearances. However, here are a few things to consider. Would you like to be on a 30-day cruise with this person? You may not become intimate friends, but you'll have to work close together. Are they coachable, willing to study and to be part of a team? There's no place for pridefulness and ego in team building. There's no place for pridefulness and ego in team building. Do they really wish to change their state of affairs? Are they prepared to do whatever it takes to win? Do they have a long-term visual sense? I'm sure you'll feel there are other and perhaps more important considerations, so consider this carefully. Wrapping up, these are just a smattering of the techniques available. All the same, I hope that among the greatest takeaways you get from this book is how big the potential our business model truly is. The big company as we knew it and the solace of the job security that occurred with it is vanishing quickly. A recent story indicates that in less than 10 years, 40% of working people will be independent business owners/contractors. A lot of individuals are already seeking an additional income or an alternate lifestyle solution. Among the top 10 predicted trends for 2010 and beyond is a desire for individuals to shop locally and spend more of their income with local businesses. Network marketing is only today coming of age and is anticipated by many to be going into the accelerated development stage. Your initial appraisal of and exhilaration about network marketing wasn't misplaced. You've stumbled across a good opportunity. Individuals going into our industry nowadays may rival or outdo a lot of the tens of thousands of individuals who have already accomplished great success with network marketing. Naturally, it isn't as simple as just joining up and letting the income roll in. Nobody ought to say it is. It's a business. It will require work for a couple of years. However, the compensation for the time and work you put in may be enormous. However, the most beneficial thing about network marketing, in my belief, you can't be successful unless you assist others to be successful. That's such a big double whammy. You acquire everything you wish for yourself in your life, and so do gobs of others also. Isn't that simply so marvelous? I literally have a grin on my face as I'm writing this out. To the novice, it must seem tired and cliché, but if you've got this far, I'm certain you feel the same way. I truly hope that my book has given you a bit of knowledge, assurance, and motivation to get out and begin to live the life you wish to live by helping others to do the same.